It's nice to be successful because I hope that in a few years' time I'll be successful, but money's not everything, it does not buy you happiness. I've had rich boyfriends and they've bought me stuff, but they've been bad to me. I'd rather have a guy that's nice. I just like a guy who's just going to treat me nice and be devoted to me. I think that's really nice.
I am.
It went a lot better than I expected it to go.
£2.85 for a bottle of beer.
Fucking hell.
I met a few different guys.
I think one of them was actually gay.
What's your name? My name's Candice.
My name's Alan.
He was like that to me. I'm called.
I think he said NB, but it could have been NP, and I was just like, well, why? And he said, no, you've got to guess.
It's a holiday thing. It's only 3 weeks old, so you have to guess.
I went to Marbella, he says, a few weeks ago, and I got my nipple pierced for my mum for Mother's Day.
Is it sore? It looks sore. Ah!
There was a big room where everyone was kind of milling about.
Did you just go out and get a drink, or did they tell you when to move, or what?
It was less organised than I thought it was going to be honest.
Like I say, it's a bit weird. I thought it was going to be everybody in the same room, but separated in some way.
Last time the girls moved round, but as I was just coming in, the guys were moving. Are guys moving or girls moving? I don't really know. Yeah, you get a few minutes and then the next bit, everybody moves round, but I don't really know. It's a bit bizarre.
3 minutes to talk to a person.
I'd be well drummed out in 3 minutes.
But it's just, you don't have any kind of way of getting to know who they are or anything.
It's a totally artificial situation.
Total first looks.
Yeah.
It means everything,
Exactly,
I can imagine.
exactly.
You know, sometimes I think love should be earned. I mean, you should get to know people, get to know them further, and you start to love them because you know more about them.
I think his name was Alan.
I knew your face as soon as you came in, so that's why I was wondering.
I don't know, it was just a bit too much.
You know Sorrel?
Uh-huh.
Well, I used to go with Sorrel.
He was a wee bit older, but he was just a bit.
She phoned me up one day and dumped me.
Oh. He had all these stories to tell you, but it was just all about him. Oh. Just him.
How long have you seen her?
I've seen her for about 6 or 7 months.
Well, she basically broke his heart.
That kind of kept the conversation going, because that's all we really spoke about was this girl, and it's quite strange because it's like the speed dating's for trying to get set up with someone, but I'm kind of like being an agony aunt for this guy.
I suppose that's a way of relating to someone that's been there on the speed dating event, and that's their way that they're coming across. And that.
I suppose he was just trying to be honest, but
you could just tell that you still had a lot of feelings for this girl.
It was weird because there was some really, really nice women there and some very attractive women, but there was some really not attractive women as well.
I don't know.
No, I just wouldn't imagine there'd be that many really, really attractive women, that kind of thing. Don't know, there's just a kind of stigma to it.
It's kind of think of it being like the last guy.
And earlier in the night when we first got there and everybody was kind of milling about,
I saw a couple of folk and I thought, she's quite nice, whatever.
I found out later on that somebody had put a card next to my photo, and I was like,
Cool. So when I got this card, I went up and found the picture of her.
and it was one of the girls that I thought was quite nice. So I eventually found her and spoke to her and said, and she said to me, "Oh, what age are you?" And I said 20, and she said, "Oh."
Busted. But at the end of the night, about to leave.
Literally about to step into the taxi. This woman comes out and says, "Where are you going?"
Where are you going?
Like, "I'm going home." And she just said, "No, you can't go home. My friend's been looking for you for half an hour." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
So I went back inside and it was this girl again.
Not the 30-year-old
Aye. So at that point we left.
And I
and
ended up back at her flat until 3 in the morning watching Spaced.
There wasn't anything in it, so I don't think there was anybody I really liked.
Right, so I wasn't that fussed at getting a response, but it'd be nice if I'd met someone I liked.
Exchange numbers?
Yeah. Kind of. She's got my number.
So probably not gonna see it again.
Mate, you pulled a 30-year-old. That in itself has bragging rights.
I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh.
I'm sure that if I maybe did participate in the night again, I think there is a possibility you could meet the proper guy.
Yeah, she seems like a nice girl. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to form an opinion of someone after that short a time. I'm going to give you my theories on love.
It's just so appealing. It's nice.
I'd like to believe in the idea of love at first sight.
You either know or you don't know.
I don't know.
But then you can have love without a relationship.
You can have a relationship without love.
It's when you're in love, but you think you're going to be with somebody forever.
And you think it doesn't matter what happens or wherever I'll be, I'm always going to love this person.
You don't know you're in love until you're out of love, because you can't tell. You might think you're in love, but you might be wrong, which I've done. I suppose it's difficult for me to tell, especially because I don't think I've ever been in love. But then you have to wonder as well, does love necessarily, can you be in love with someone if they're not in love with you? And I think you can. But generally makes it harder. A toast to love and speed dating.
To love and speed dating.
Traditional dating, I think what's wrong with it is, I always think it's too formal. I'm not big on being formal at all. I don't like it. I think as a society, human race is far too formal, or human race puts too much emphasis on being formal. And I feel it kind of distracts from who you are to an extent. It doesn't necessarily let you be yourself. And I'm a big believer in being yourself.
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 I'm a big believer
I'm a
in
big
being
believer
yourself.
in being yourself.
I'm a big believer in yourself.
I'm a big believer in being yourself. I'm a big believer in being yourself. I'm a big believer in being yourself. I'm a big believer in being yourself.
I'm a big believer in being yourself.